Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for sharing your day with us. I am Louisa Lee. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新奇、最有趣的新闻。First, the latest about the Brevik trial in Norway. Anders Behring Brevik, the man who is responsible for taking the lives of 77 people last July, came face to face with 5 individuals that survived through his shooting rampage in the Oslo court on Monday. While Breivik's testimony has been censored, the words of the victims were heard, with one witness saying that we won, he lost. Norwegian youth can swim. If Brevik is found sane, he could face 21 years in prison, and if he's considered insane, he's likely to be sent to a psychiatric institution indefinitely. 在挪威发动恐怖攻击并夺走77条人命的 Brevik， 星期一跟幸存者在法庭对质，不过他仍然一点歉意都没有，而法官也将判定他是否心智健全。如果他没有精神异常，将面临21年的刑期。
Anders Behring Breivik has admitted to killing 77 people in Norway, including 69 teenagers last year. On Monday, Breivik complained to an Oslo court that he hasn't been given the chance to explain why he did it.
I think it is completely unacceptable that my ideological explanations are censored in their entirety.
Norway has decided not to broadcast all of Breivik's testimony, fearing the court could be used as a stage to promote his extreme anti-Muslim beliefs. 33-year-old Breivik has said he was motivated to carry out the car bombing and shootings as a wake-up call to Norway over its increasing diversity. So far, Breivik has expressed no remorse over the 77 victims, tearing up only once as images of him in a military uniform were shown to the court. Some have characterized Breivik as an extreme narcissist.
And to other news, China's economy may be experiencing a few hiccups recently, but regardless, the number of non-Chinese people learning Mandarin continues to soar, with the seats getting filled in the classes in Zambia, where many believe that Mandarin may be the next global language. 大陆经济崛起，也让很多国家的人开始学习中文，就连在非洲的 Zambia 也吹起了一股中文热。很多人是为了可以顺利在当地大陆人开的公司中找到工作，才开始学中文。
Banker Majuma Nkunga repeats the syllables he hopes will give him a competitive edge in the job market. He's learning Mandarin, along with 2,000 other Zambians in the country's capital, Lusaka.
If you just look at how the world economics are moving, you find that they are being dominated by the Chinese. And the way English is how the Chinese language will be not too long from now.
China's enormous appetite for resources has driven an investment boom across Africa. By the end of 2010, the country had invested an estimated $2 billion in Zambia's economy alone. There are now around 300,000 Chinese people in Zambia. Most of them are involved in Africa's copper industry. School manager Jackie Wang says breaking down the language barrier is crucial for improving relations between the two countries.
We are doing this part as the hub to introduce Chinese language and Chinese culture to Zambia people, and to be the bridge between to bridge the communication between Zambia people and the Chinese people.
But anti-Chinese sentiments run deep in Zambia, particularly in the mining sector. The Eastern investors are accused of flouting labour laws. Strikes and protests are frequent in the country as workers fight for better pay and working conditions. But it's hoped Mandarin will at least improve the lines of communication between the two sides.
And you know that your furry pal is constantly standing by, waiting for you at the door for you to come home from work. Instead of feeling guilty, you can now turn to the first ever TV channel for dogs. The content is said to be scientifically tailored for your four-legged friend to keep his or her dull days at bay. 很多人家里都有养狗，但是你有想过出门上班、上课时，狗狗都在家里做什么吗？在加州现在有专门给狗狗看的电视节目，要让长时间待在家里的它们不会无聊。
It is said that a dog is man's best friend, and now to repay their reliability and friendship, cable developers have launched the first TV channel in Southern California, Dog TV, specifically to entertain stay-at-home dogs when their owners are away from home. According to developers, the 24-hour programming is good company for its four-legged viewers.
There are numerous dogs, say 80 million in the United States, many of whom are spending long hours alone, up to and even more than 8 hours a day. And in that vacuum, devoid of human company, they have pretty much nothing to do.
He added that some dogs are desperate for companionship when their owner is away, and Dog TV can reduce their anxiety as well as relax them.
And there are about 15 or so % of the United States dogs, 80 million dogs, 15% of them show clinical separation anxiety, cardinal signs being vocalization and destructive behavior.
Dog TV's content is specifically designed for dogs, with even the sound, colors, and camera angles adjusted to make the shows more appealing to canines.
Well, we know that dogs are kind of red-green colorblind, so the colors have been adjusted and augmented to be more appealing to dogs. Auditorily, we know that, especially for the relaxation phase of Dog TV, that they appreciate more sort of melodic sounds and music, preferably single instrument, and played in slightly slower rhythms that perhaps entrain to biological rhythms like respiration.
The dog's favorite TV stars, not surprisingly, turn out to be other dogs, as dogs like looking at other dogs, people, and motions, and therefore contents like balls being kicked around are put on air. The cable developer is now planning to broadcast Dog TV nationwide and maybe bringing the network to dog-loving countries to entertain more dogs around the world.
And despite their battle on screen, actress Charlize Theron and Kristen Stewart are on the same side of the fence at the London movie premiere for their new film, Snow White and the Huntsman, where the two went for the gothic glamour look by wearing sheer black gowns. 最近 Hollywood 有一部关于白雪公主的电影，故事颠覆了以前大家对白雪公主的印象。饰演公主的 Kristen Stewart 跟饰演坏皇后的 Charlize Theron 都一起出席了首映会，两个人都穿上黑色礼服，非常美丽。In Snow White and the Huntsman, the modern adaptation of the classic fairy tale, directed by Rupert Sanders, Charlize Theron and Kristen Stewart prove that they are not just pretty faces. Stewart, who plays Snow White, the only woman in the land fairer than the evil queen, talks about how it was not an easy task portraying the character given the intensity of the fights.
Action hero girls do stuff that a girl could never do. Anything that you see us do in the movie, we can do. Like, I think that the strength of a woman, we're not built to be strong physically. It's all about being steady and knowing yourself, and it's a different thing, you know what I mean? So it's like if you can outsmart someone or be quicker than them, that's better than like punching them in the face or something. I love challenging myself physically. But I have to say, the reason that they hire big burly guys to do these action movies is because it is hard. Like, I killed myself. I was a dead person by the end of it.
Charlize Theron as the evil witch in the film, who cannot bear the thought that someone is more beautiful than her, says that the moral of the fable should not be overlooked.
I think this is a story that's very much a cautionary tale. If we place our value and our self-worth in things that is inevitably going to happen to us, then we're doomed. And so, yeah, I think this is very much a cautionary tale.
Leading man Chris Hemsworth as the Huntsman, whose mission is to kill Snow White in the film, couldn't hide his happiness at the London premiere after welcoming a baby girl with his wife, Elsa Pataki.
I couldn't be happier, it's all, as I said, thankful that it's all sort of worked out and I was here for it, because I've been on various press tours and what have you around the world, and it's, it's wonderful.
When asked director Rupert Sanders about his version of Snow White, which is already the second adaptation this year, following Tarzan Singh's Mirror Mirror starring Julia Roberts, Sanders said that he is not too worried.
It's bigger, it's second. They're very different films. I think ours is a massive, epic, medieval war film, and theirs was more comedic. I mean, I'm not really in a in a race or a discussion about the two of them. You know, ours is a very different film. I think people have seen that in the trailers, and that's what's really built the excitement.
Snow White and the Huntsman opens in theaters on June 1st in Taiwan and also in the United States. And that's it for this edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Meanwhile, stay with CTS for the latest weather update and for more top stories.